Hello friends, welcome back to our weekly update session on banking and financial awareness. Here these banking updates we are covering between 16th June to 21st June, which will be useful for your all upcoming banking and insurance related exams. So friends, do watch this video session till last. Let's start our session, and friends, one more thing, if you are watching first time our channel, please don't forget to subscribe our channel, and if you already subscribed, please do watch all our videos and give your like or comment. Let's start our session. Now friends, first question says, which private sector bank has launched Insta Flexi Cash Facility? Insta Flexi Cash Facility to its salary account customers. So here the answer is ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank recently launched an Insta Cash Flexi facility to its salary account customers. So we'll see what is about this Insta Flexi Cash facility. So the Insta Flexi Cash, it is an online overdraft facility by which customers can get approval OD instantly with paperless manner. So first we will see what is about OD. OD means OD is an abbreviation of overdraft. So it is exactly opposite to our savings. So overdraft means it is on kind of short-term loan. So this facility that allows account holders to make withdrawal from an existing savings bank account even after the balance reaches zero. So the overdraft facility means if account holder to make withdrawals from existing savings account even after balance reaches zero. So if you say, in other words, if you have an approved overdraft limit 50,000 for example, and have 1 lakh in your account at present in your savings bank, so you can withdraw up to 1.5 lakh. So like that. So you are having OD facility 50,000 means it is OD, that 50,000 is one kind of a short term loan. So it will be charged interest on this. So like that it is what is performing. So the Insta Flexi Cash, it is an online overdraft facility by which customers can get approval for OD instantly with a paperless manner. So the facility is launched to guard ICICI Bank salary account customers against missing their equated monthly installments or check bounces. So when we see the features of this Insta Flexi Cash account, so the account holder, the customer can start using OD facility within 48 hours. So the credit limit, so that loan limit worth up to 3 times of their net salary provided. So for example, if you are getting 10,000 per month, you will be your credit limit will be the 30,000. So the interest payment must be paid every month only on the actual OD amount utilized. If you utilize 20,000, then you have to pay interest on for 20,000 only, and clear that outstanding limit and their convenience. So no forced closure charges are required while paying this overdraft. So auto shipping facility also available for this overdraft. So if the answer is ICICI Bank providing for their salary account customers to this Insta Flexi Cash facility. It is one kind of short-term loan. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the ICICI Bank present MD and CEO Sandeep Bakshi, and the headquarters of ICICI Bank, Mumbai. Now, second question says, Reserve Bank of India has come up with a new framework, some changes in monitoring structure of Dash. So here the answer is FMI and RPS, Financial Market Infrastructure and Retail Payment Systems. So the new changes in this FMI and RPS will result in ensuring more security and stability of payment structure. It will give more security and stability of payment structure. So the new framework will increase transparency in surveillance, and it will improve regularity compliance of payment system operator. And it will also increase customers' awareness, and it will enhance their trust in banking system as well. So it will enhance customer trust in banking system as well. So here the answer is FMI, Financial Market Infrastructure and Retail Payment Systems, RPS. Now third question says, which central government organization launches e-office in all CGST and customs offices? So here the answer is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBIC. This CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, has launched this e-office application in 500 CGST and customs offices across India, that too remotely. So it marks a change in office procedures from manual file handling to automatic online procedures. So it will provide faceless, contactless and paperless indirect tax administration. So by doing this e-offices, it will provide faceless, contactless and paperless indirect tax administration. It is developed by NIC with the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances DARPG and under the Mission Mode project of MMP, Mission Mode project of National E-Governance. So under the National E-Governance, so this e-offices has been launched. So customer no need of visiting these offices. So the taxpayers it will provide faceless, contactless and paperless indirect tax administration. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the CBDT headquarters, that is New Delhi, the present chairperson of CBDT, Mr. Ajit Kumar. So this Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs has launched this e-office application in 500 CGST and customs office across in India remotely, that too. So the answer is CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes. Friends, you can follow our channel in social platforms like Telegram, Facebook and Instagram. These links I have provided in description section. Now fourth question says which union minister has launched Indian Gas Exchange IGX? So the answer is our Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has recently launched this Indian Gas Exchange. So it is the first nationwide online delivery based gas trading platform. It is online delivery based gas trading platform. So it has been incorporated as a wholly subsidiary of our Indian Energy and Exchange Market Platform. IEEM. So it is Indian Energy Exchange Market Platform. So it is a fully automated web-based interface so that enables market participants to trade in standardized gas contracts. So it will help nation to move towards free market pricing of natural gas. So it is the first nationwide online delivery based gas trading platform. So your answer is our Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has recently launched this online trading delivery based gas trading platform. Now fifth question says which bank has launched Suraksha salary account for MSMEs? So which bank has launched Suraksha salary account for MSMEs? So the answer is Airtel Payment Bank has recently launched this Suraksha salary account for whom? For micro, small and medium enterprises, MSME. So the initiative will help MSMEs and others to make cashless payments with financial security blanket to their employees. So this initiative will help MSMEs and others to make cashless payments with financial security blanket to their employees. And also it will provide OP cash insurance and personal accidental insurance cover. So it will provide hospital cash insurance and personal accident insurance also. So it has no minimum balance condition and account holders can withdraw cash at Airtel payment banking points up to how much? Up to 20,000 across in India with cash deposits and transferred money also. So this Airtel Payment Bank has launched this Suraksha salary account customers for whom? For micro, small and medium enterprise customers. So it will help to MSMEs and other makes to cashless payments with financial security blanket to their employees also. So it has no minimum balance condition for the Suraksha salary account. So the account holders can withdraw cash at Airtel payment banking points up to 20,000 across in India with cash deposits and transfer of the money also. So here the answer is Airtel Payment Bank. Now, sixth question says which tech organizations from India is included in World Economic Forum's 2020 Technology Pioneers? Here the answer is Just Money and Stellabs. Labs. Just Money, Stellabs Labs is these two companies are Indian firms. So from artificial intelligence to carbon capture, these two companies are using innovations to protect the climate, improve healthcare and much more, and helping us to reset society and build it towards a better future. So for that, the World Economic Forum has included these two companies in World Economic Forum's 2021 Technology Pioneers. So the answer is Just Money and Stellabs. Labs. Now seventh question says with which bank Maruti Suzuki has partnered to offer a car loan? So here the answer is Karur Vysya Bank, our private sector bank, In India, Karur Vysya Bank has partnered with Maruti Suzuki India to offer a car loan to Maruti vehicles. So the benefit will be available for both existing as well as new customers to avail this loan. So the loan will be available for both salaried and self-employed customers. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Maruti Suzuki New Delhi, the present CEO of Maruti Suzuki, Kenny Chayikwa. And when it comes to Karur Vysya Bank headquarters, it is Karur in Tamil Nadu state. And present CEO of Karur Vysya Bank, Mr. P.R. Sheshadri. So P.R. Sheshadri is present CEO. So Karur Vysya Bank has partnered with Maruti Suzuki to offer a car loan to or Maruti vehicles. So the loan will be available for both salaried and self-employed customers. Friends, now the question says, which insurance company in India has launched India's first ever insurance policy for drone owners and operators? For drone owners and operators. So here the answer is HDFC Ergo. It is a general insurance company. So India's first pay as you fly. So it is India's first play as you fly, like this tagline. The insurance for drones is launched by this HDFC general insurance company in a partner with the UK based tech firm Tropo Limited. UK-based tech firm Tropo Limited for drone owners in India. So the policy is launched for commercial drone owners and operators in order to cover the property damage and body injuries which may happen during activities like surveying drones, mapping, monitoring, disaster relief initiatives, and festival events, etc. to the drones. So the policyholders under this will be able to claim insurance up to 10 lakh on Tropo mobile app, and they can opt for 4 hours, 1 day or 1 month cover to insure themselves against the third party liabilities. So the policy is launched for commercial drone owners and operators in order to cover the property damage and body injury which may happen during the activities like surveying drones, mapping drones, and monitoring disaster relief initiatives, festival events like that. For these activities, we are using now drones. No, so for that, this HDFC Ergo Generalist company offering insurance plans to drone owners. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of HDFC Ergo, it is in Mumbai, and present MD and CEO of the HDFC Ergo, Mr. Ritesh Kumarji. So Mr. Ritesh Kumarji. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So you can pick and watch it if you are missed it. Now, ninth question says, who headed the committee which proposed measure to strengthen the enforcement and recovery mechanism of SEBI? So here the answer is Anil Dev. So the Security Exchange Board of India has constituted a committee headed by our former Supreme Court Judge Shri Anil Devji to strengthen the SEBI's enforcement mechanism and also to improve its system of recovery of siphoning off money. So the committee has suggested changes in Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 to ensure that insolvency law is not used as a protection. So 2020 by defaulters, and thus protecting the interest of investors. So the committee has also recommended changes in intermediary regulatory regulations to Security and Exchange Board of India. So the Security Exchange Board of India has constituted a committee headed by our former Supreme Court Judge Sri Anil Devji to strengthen the SEBI's enforcement mechanism and also to improve its system of recovery of this siphon of money. So now when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of SEBI Mumbai, the present chairman of SEBI, Ajay Tyagi ji. Now 10th question says, India ranked at which position in terms of foreign direct investment FDI in 2019 as per World Investment Report 2020 by UNCTAD, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So here the answer is 9th position. So United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, the United Nations trade body it is. So it has released this recently World Investment Report 2020. So under that, India ranked at 9th position in terms of foreign direct investment in 2019. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of UNCTAD, it is Geneva, Switzerland. The present Secretary General of UNCTAD, Dr. Mukisha Kiyuti. Dr. Mukisha Kitui He is a present Secretary General of this UNCTAD, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So the overall report is topped by United States with 246 million billion dollars of FDI in 2019, followed by China with 141 billion US dollars in 2019. So in this report, first US and second China, and ninth position is our India in terms of foreign direct investment in 2019 year. So here the important on this is with this report, this foreign direct investment report as released by World Investment Report 2020 by UNCTAD, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So India's position is ninth position. Now 11th question says, which organization has launched a multi-location claim settlement facility? So here the answer is our central government organization, EPFO, Employees Provident Fund Organization, has launched this multi-location claim facility. So we'll see about this facility. What is this? So the multi-location claims facility has been launched to expedite member claims. So it will be covering claims such as provident fund, pension, partial withdrawal and transfer of these claims. So the new facility will allow EPFO offices to settle online claims from its any regional office across the country. So thus the new facility will be replacing the old one with a system of geographical jurisdiction for the claim process. So because of this new facility, there will be no delay in settlement of claim process and has proven to be beneficial in lockdown situation COVID-19. So it's really helpful for all APFO account holders. So they can withdraw, they can withdraw their amount and they can claim their pensions and partial withdrawals and transfer of these claims at any point of at any place which is any regional office across the country through online. When it comes to shorty part of this question, the headquarters of EPFO, it is in New Delhi. So here the answer is EPFO. The EPFO has launched this multi-location claim settlement facility. Now 12th question says, with which bank Universal Sum for General Insurance Company launched a health insurance policy to cover COVID-19 pandemic? So it is a really important question. So with which bank? The Universal Sum for General Insurance Company. So here insurance company name is Universal Sum for General Insurance Company. So this company has launched a health insurance policy to cover COVID-19 pandemic. To which bank? So it is tie up with which bank? So here the answer is Karnataka Bank, our India's scheduled bank, private sector bank. So it's Karnataka Bank Karnataka Bank and Universal Sum for General Insurance Company has launched a health insurance policy to cover COVID-19 pandemic. So the premium amount of policy is 399 rupees only with validity period of 120 days. With validity period of 120 days only. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Karnataka Bank, it is Mangalore, Karnataka. The headquarters of the Universal Sum for General Insurance Company, it is in Mumbai. It is India's based general insurance company. So it has launched a health insurance policy with tie-upping with Karnataka Bank for the policy holders to cover COVID-19 pandemic for amount of just 310 rupees with validity period of 120 days. So now friends, we'll see 13th question. Where will be the Global Business Service Center of UK based British Petroleum setting up? So this British Petroleum, it is a UK based global petroleum company. So this petroleum service company has going to set up their global business center in our India. So where the location is Pune in Maharashtra. So this petroleum major British Petroleum has announced to set up a major center for its global business services GBS operations in Pune, Maharashtra. It will support digital innovations in British Petroleum across the world along with employing 2000 people. So the center will begin in operation. It will start with the operations by next year, that is January 2021. So it will also provide business processing and advanced analytics capabilities for better outcomes and cutting edge digital solutions. So when come to starting part of this question, our petroleum minister Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. So here the answer is Pune, Maharashtra. So this UK based British Petroleum is going to set up their business and service center in Pune, Maharashtra. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So you can pick and watch it if you are missed. Now 14th question says Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has signed a MOU with which financial institution to build PM Savanidhi scheme. To build which scheme? PM Savanidhi scheme. So here the answer is Sydney, Small Industries Development Bank of India. So the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has signed MOU with SIDBI for PM Street Vendors, that is Atmanirbhar Nidhi. The PM Savanidhi scheme. The PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar scheme aims to provide special micro credit facility for whom? For street vendors. So this PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi scheme aims to provide special micro facility to street vendors. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the SIDBI headquarters Lucknow, the present chairman and MD of the SIDBI Muhammad Mustafa. And when it comes to Union Minister of this Housing and Urban Affairs, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri ji. So Hardeep Singh Puri ji, he is the Union Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs and the chairman of MD and SIDBI Muhammad Mustafa, the headquarters of SIDBI Lucknow. So here the answer is Sydney Small Industries Development Bank of India. So the PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi scheme aims to provide special micro credit facility to street vendors. Now 15th question says, as per SEBI's recent amendments, promoters who are owning 25% or more shares or voting rights in a company can increase their shareholding up to -% in a year. We will see question once again. So as per SEBI recent amendment, promoters, so the promoters who are owning 25% or more shares or voting rights in a company can increase now their shareholding up to what percent? So the answer is up to 10% in an year. So the Securities Exchange Board of India, SEBI, has amended regulations section 3 in under subsection 2 of SEBI Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeovers Regulation Act 2011. Shortly we will call it as SEBI SAST, Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeovers, SAST. So in order to enhance acquisition limit of promoters, so this amendment will be termed as SEBI SAST Amendment Regulation Act 2020. So as per this amendment, the promoters who are owning 25% or more shares or voting rights in a company now can increase their shareholding up to 10% in an every year. So earlier this increase staggered 5% was allowed. So now they made it as double to 10%. So SEBI also relaxed conditions of the time gap between two qualified institutional placements, that is QAPs, from 6 months to 2 weeks. So here the answer is 10%. So earlier it was 5%. Now they increase their shareholding up to 10%. When it comes to static part, the SEBI headquarters Mumbai, the SEBI present chairman Mr. Ajay Tyagi ji. Now 16th question says, Reserve Bank of India has proposed changes of minimum net owned funds for HFCs, housing finance companies, from the current requirement of 10 crore to dash crore. So the answer is 20 crore. The Reserve Bank of India, being a regulator of housing finance companies, HFCs, has proposed changes in rules and regulations of housing finance companies with an aim to increase and address the concerns of liquidity and double financing. So due to COVID-19, the housing finance companies facing a lot of liquidity issues. So in this current session, the RBI has proposed changes of minimum net owned funds for housing finance companies from current requirement of 10 crore to 20 crores. So the changes this prescribed in draft regulatory framework released by RBI. So the minimum net owned funds to 20 crore. So it is, and it is increasing CRAR also. The currently minimum capital risk weighted asset ratio for NFCs. So it is at 12% and it will be increased to 14% by 31st March 2021. So now onwards, housing finance companies definition will not be exist. So the RBI said that housing finance companies will now mean financing for purchase or construction or reconstruction or renovation or repairs of residential dwelling unit. So now onwards, the housing finance company's definition will not be exist. The RBI said that the housing finance company will now mean the finance for purchase, the finance for construction, or finance for reconstruction, or finance for renovation, or finance for repairs of residential dwelling unit, and some other activities like giving loans to corporate and governmental agencies for employee housing projects. So here the answer is 20 crores. So 10 crores to 20 crores. RBI has proposed these changes for housing finance companies. Now 70th question says, which bank has launched this Saral Affordable Housing Scheme? Saral Affordable Housing Scheme. So this scheme launched by our ICICI Bank Finance Company Limited. Sorry, ICICI Bank Home Finance Company Limited. So ICICI Home Finance Company Limited has launched this Saral. Saral, it is a type of scheme. The scheme is a special affordable housing loan scheme to finance home in urban and rural areas. So the beneficiaries are women, lower, middle income customers, and economically weaker sections. So this scheme targeted to women, lower, middle income customers, and economically weaker section with a maximum household income up to 6 lakhs per annum. So this loan requires compulsory ownership of women in the country's rural areas from 3 lakh to 6 lakh. So this ICICI Home Finance Company has launched this Saral Affordable Housing Scheme. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of this ICICI Home Finance Company Mumbai, the present chairman of this ICICI Home Finance Company chairman name is Anup Bagchi. Anup Bagchi, and MD and CEO of this housing finance company ICICI is Anirudh Kamani. Anirudh Kamani. He is the MD and CEO. Now friend, 90 question says, which insurance partners with the East Consultancy Services to offer Aadhaar based paperless offline eKYC service? So the answer is Tata AIA Life Insurance. So Tata AIA Life Insurance has partnered with this East Consultancy Services company to offer Aadhaar based paperless offline service, that to eKYC. Which service they are offering? eKYC. Know your customer service. So this offer is in line with the measures to combat this COVID-19 pandemic. So the eKYC service will offer uninterrupted service to customers during the online application process for the company's life insurance solutions. The answer is Tata AIA Life Insurance. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of this Tata AIA Life Insurance, it is Mumbai. The present CEO and MD of this Tata AIA Life Insurance, Rishi Srivastava. So now chairman of this Tata AIA Life Insurance company is Mr. Saurabh Agarwal. So this Tata AIA Life Insurance had partnered with the East Consultancy Services to offer Aadhaar based paperless offline eKYC service. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So you can pick and watch it if you are missed. Now 20th question says, recently which public sector bank announced their lending operations made fully digitized? So all their loan operations made fully digitized announced by which public sector bank? So the answer is Bank of Baroda. Our public sector bank, Bank of Baroda, India's international bank, is in this tagline of this Bank of Baroda. So it is the third largest lender in to fully digitize its lending operations, include home, agriculture, micro, small and medium enterprises, and personal and auto loans. So this bank has made every loan fully digitized. So the bank has set up a new vertical, that is digital lending department at corporate office. So which will have substantial overlap with various credit verticals, including retail, MSME, agriculture, and other services like analytical service center, risk management, marketing. This Bank of Baroda is a public sector bank, has announced their lending operations made fully digitized. So question may ask this in upcoming competitive exam. So which public sector bank has announced their lending operations made fully digitized? So that time you have to give answer Bank of Baroda. So now when it comes to starting part of this question, the Bank of Baroda headquarters, it is of course Vadodara, Gujarat, and present MD and CEO of this Bank of Baroda, Mr. Sanjeev Chandarji. So the tagline of this Bank of Baroda, India's international bank. Now next question says, the former RBI governor Ujit Patel named as chairman for which research institution? So the answer is National Institution of Public Finance and Policy. So he is our Ujit Patel ji, he is our former RBI governor. So the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy, it is an anonymous research institute. So under this in India's Ministry of Finance. So this institution comes under Indian Ministry of Finance. So based on in New Delhi it is. So the center conducts research on public finance and contributes to the process of policy making related to public finance. So for this, our RBI former governor Urjit Singh Patel he will take charge as chairman of this National Institute of Public Finance Policy, NIPFP, from June 22nd onwards. So he will be replaced by Mr. Vijay Kelkar. He was earlier chairman to this NIPFP, National Institute of Public Finance and Policy. So this NIPFP is an autonomous research institute under India's Ministry of Finance. So when comes to about our Urjit Patel, he was studied in London School of Economics and Oxford University and Yale University, and he was a Kenyan national until 2013 also. So now the Urjit Patel acquired this Indian citizenship before he was appointed as RBI governor in January 2013. So the headquarters of this institution, the national institution, headquarters New Delhi. So now present RBI. Former RBI Governor Urjit Patel he is named as the chairman to this National Institute of Public Finance and Policy. Friends, that was about weekly updates from 11th May to 24th May. So if you like this video, please like, comment and share. If you're not yet subscribed our channel, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates to your mobile whenever I will upload new video. So thanks for watching. Jai Hind.